Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, and today I'm going to show you how to refill your Ohuhu alcohol markers, and then we're going to make some fun art with them. This video is sponsored by Ohuhu, and they just released 50 new ink refills, bringing their ink refill line to 101 of their most popular colors, with more on the way. You can even store the refills in your normal marker storage because they are the same size as Ohuhu Honolulu markers. These inks will work on all of your Ohuhu alcohol markers though, so no worries, including the new Honolulu 2 and Honolulu 2B markers with a cute patented anti-slip strip on the cap. We'll talk about those more when we do our artwork later. The 16 ml ink bottles will refill a Honolulu marker 5 times, or an Oahu or Kala marker 8 times, and a Molokai marker 3 times, so you get an excellent value with these ink bottles. The Ohuhu marker color numbers have changed over the years and may vary between marker line, but don't worry, they have a handy ink color search tool on their website. Simply type in the color that you found on your marker cap and it will tell you the name and number of the refill ink you need. You can see the most current color code on the cap of the ink refill. You can also see the older color numbers on the side of your ink refill so you can easily find the color you want. Now, before refilling any dual-ended marker, it's a good idea to remove both caps to equalize the air pressure inside the marker. The quickest and easiest way to refill your marker is to simply drip the ink directly on the nib. This method is great if you're in the middle of a project and you don't want to stop for a proper refill. For a longer lasting solution, the best way to refill your markers is to remove the nib so you can insert the nozzle of the refill bottle directly into the barrel. You can use a paper towel to grasp the nib and pull it out, or use nib tweezers if you have them. To add the ink, insert the nozzle into the barrel of the marker so the tip of the nozzle makes contact with the felt core, and give the bottle a gentle squeeze. You can refer to the volume marking on the side of the bottle to see how much you've added. You can also inspect your nibs for any damage and reverse or replace the brush nib if needed. Cap the marker and let it rest so the ink can travel through the marker pad and refresh both nibs. I like to give this about 30 minutes before I go to use the marker. To refill the single-ended wide Molokai marker, I use a paper towel to gently pull out the nib and then add ink into the barrel just as I did with the other Ohuhu markers. Then replace the nib, cap, and lay flat. And that's all there is to it. Now that you know how to refill your markers, let's go create some art with them. We're going to be using the brand new Honolulu 2 and Honolulu 2B markers for this piece, but I'm starting off by sketching with the Ohuhu colored pencils. I like to sketch with colored pencils when I'm going to do marker art because the alcohol ink will kind of dissolve and blend the colored pencil lines away, so I don't even see where my lines were. I really enjoy that over graphite lines, but of course you can use a regular pencil if that's what you prefer. I like to start with basic shapes, and I did some circles and some cone shapes and some semicircles. This is how I build a scene. So I just basically look at something and say, what's the closest shape to what I need, and then go from there. So the jar, the glass would be like a rectangle. The strawberries are like cones. The lemon is a semicircle or like half of a sphere. And once you get those basic shapes in there, it's kind of easy to refine them into the objects that you want. And plus, using the colored pencils, like I said, in colors similar to what you're going to use for markers, allows them to just kind of meld into your design and be part of your design. The paper that I'm using is the Ohuhu marker pad. It's the hardbound one with the textured cover. I finished the 8.5 by 8.5 one that I had, and I'm starting on this 9 by 12 one. I really like this paper. It has a ton of sheets in it, and they're micro perforated in case you want to tear one out. So all around, it's my favorite marker book. It does bleed through to the back of the page, so you do have to use that little plastic sheet that comes with your markers to protect the next page. But I just really love how it blends and how I can use colored pencils or even acrylic markers on top if I want to. So for me, being a multimedia artist, it really works with my way of working. So I am using the Honolulu 2B markers here. They have a fine tip on one end and a brush tip on the other. I really like that combination, although I like the chisel end too, so you can choose whatever is best for your method of working. And these are available in quite a variety of pack sizes. So, you can get the size that meets your needs, really. All in all, I find the markers to behave like the Ohuhu Honolulu markers we know and love. They are completely compatible with the markers you already have. So if you started off with the Oahu markers or the Kala markers or older sets of Honolulu markers, don't worry, they're all going to work together. In fact, I did grab some of my Oahus to use with this because I had them open and they had the colors I needed. So don't feel like you're ever replacing markers you already have, you're adding to. And because you can refill all of these markers, even the ones you might have bought 8 years ago, there's no need to upgrade unless you want this new design. Now let's talk about the new design. They have added this patented anti-slip strip to the edge of the cap. So before they had a little white nub on the side that helped the marker caps from rolling away. Now they've gone with this wave design, the same color as the color index chip on the end, which just is kind of it's kind of classy looking. It's easy to grasp to remove the cap, and it's just a little prettier, and it's unique to Ohuhu, so you won't see that on any other markers. You can find them in, like I said, both the regular Honolulu style, which is the brush and chisel nib, or the Honolulu B style, which is the brush and the fine nib. I think if you're a rubber stamper or an adult coloring book enthusiast, you're definitely going to enjoy having the Honolulu 2B style because you have that fine, hard nib. Now, you can get details with the brush nib, absolutely. But the thing about the brush nib is that it pushes out more ink. So here where I'm doing these tiny details, I'm using the fine end because it's going to not give out so much ink. So it's not that you can't get those fine details with the brush nib, it's just it pushes more ink, so it might feather on you. So that's where the hard nib comes in handy. Now you can use the hard nib on a chisel nib too for the same purpose. So it really comes down to what you're used to and what you prefer. One thing that I'd recommend when you are coloring here is to get your darks in soon. So if you've got some bold shadows, get those bold shadows in. If you've got some dark details like the kind of shadows around the seeds on the strawberry, get those in. Get those colors in nice and bold so you kind of have that full range of value on your paper. When you're using markers, we're generally using white paper. I mean, not always. It's fun to use tan paper sometimes, but generally we're using white paper because marker ink is transparent. Alcohol ink markers are transparent, so you're going to see that paper. The light is going to travel through the ink, bounce off the paper, and back to your eyes. So you're working on white, and that can be really jarring when you go and put those darker colors in. And so a lot of times we kind of fuss around with those really light shades a little too long, and then it becomes kind of scary to put those darker colors in. So I like to get those dark colors in fairly early on so I have that full value range and my eye can kind of calibrate to all of those colors. Now, if you're looking at the reference photo there, you're going to see in the shadow, you see some red, you see some orange. So I did that with colored pen. I did that with a little bit of marker, but I also went in with colored pencil to do that because colored pencils are translucent. They're not transparent. Markers are transparent. The alcohol markers are transparent. The colored pencils are translucent. So they will go over the transparent medium and leave a little bit more of a kind of a semi-opaque sheen there. So we can nudge colors there. So let's say you have a small set of markers. We all start off with a smaller set, right? We don't know if we like markers, so we're, going to invest a little bit by a little bit and see how much we like them, right? Before we buy the big set. So maybe you only have 24 markers and you're trying to do a piece that requires more color and you're like, oh shoot, I don't have enough to blend. The colors are too far apart to get a good blend. That's when you bring in the colored pencils because you're going to be able to transition a dark color to a light color by using a pencil to kind of bridge the gap. Also, since the colored pencils are semi-opaque, like here, this white one is one of the more opaque colors, I can go in and I can add some shiny spots onto these strawberries and make them look a little bit juicy. Now, these pencils are not going to be as opaque as an acrylic marker, say, or a white gel pen. So you still might want to have those to add, bolder details or to fix mistakes going on top of your artwork. But I find that if you are getting into alcohol markers and you have a small stash, if you got some colored pencils, that is going to magnify what you can do with your markers 100-fold. It's amazing how much the pencils can do. And also they can save you a lot of time because blending can take a long time. Getting that seamless blend might take you 10 minutes where you can do it in 30 seconds with a colored pencil. And I just encourage you to use your media together for when it's fun, but also it magnifies and amplifies what each of your media can do because they all have strengths and weaknesses. So if you can take the the strength of alcohol markers being super vibrant, super quick to lay down. Where colored pencil, a weakness of colored pencil is how long it takes to lay down a lot of color. So you take the strength of colored pencils being semi-opaque and quick to lay down over, layerable over your markers, and you mix them with the ability to quickly lay down color with your alcohol markers. You get the best of both worlds. You save time and you get the look that you're after with much less effort. So you don't have to have a lot of supplies. Just use them together and see how they amplify one another. And I think that's one of the best things about working in this marker pad is it's got enough tooth on it that it will let the color pencil stick on top, but it's not rough, so it doesn't damage my markers when I'm using them. Because you don't want to use your brush nibs on a rough surface or it will damage them. You don't want to use them on a watercolor paper because that will suck out too much of the ink. This is just kind of, for me, for my techniques, the best paper. Now I'm going in with an Ohuhu liquid fine liner here. These are my preferred black fine liners. The barrel is filled with liquid ink, so there's tons of ink in there. I haven't had to replace one of these since I started using this particular pack about a year and a half ago, and they're just wonderful. You can even find them at Michael's too if you don't like to order online, which is nice. And you can actually find quite a few of the packs of Ohuhu markers at Michael's. So if you hate ordering online and you got a Michael's store handy, that's also a nice option for you. And I'm going in with these final bright highlights to just kind of be it's kind of like the sprinkle on a cupcake, really. It's those details that really bring your work to life and just kind of embellishing like that. Another advantage of using your ink pens at the end is that you can sharpen things up. What I mean by that is maybe you've got a little murky area or a little undefined bit. Going in with that little dabs of white gel pen is going to bring that sparkle, we're going to bring that shine, going to bring that focus to certain portions of your artwork, like maybe like the glisten on the strawberry. It could be like the threads on the top of the mason jar there. That's going to bring a little detail in. Even if you have some mushy, blurry bits, having that little bit of sparkle will go a long way to make your work look finished. And when you're looking at something, everything's not in focus. You look at something, you focus on one portion of a still life or a design. And that's what it sparkles, that's what's sharp. Everything else gets a little bit mushy. So just having these little kind of sharp bits that you've defined with a pen on your artwork, it does make it look a little more realistic, even though it's probably a little bit less realistic and less detailed than you would assume if you really looked closely at it. So keep that in mind as you're creating. You don't need to make everything super detailed and super in focus because that actually makes it look a little bit flat. Just selectively highlight, selectively bring in those little sharp bits, and your work will read as a lot more, I don't know, a lot more realistic, a lot more natural, more painterly. I'll have a lot more volume. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can search Ohuhu Honolulu 2 or Honolulu 2B to grab your new Ohuhu alcohol markers. The new design is already on Amazon and the Ohuhu website. You can find the ink refills and color matching tool at ohuhu.com. I'll have a link in the description so you can find it easily. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.